I have been doing this for 4 years, about 4 years. It started like as an innocent local ghost hunt. They were having a ghost tour and we all thought it was a big joke. So I went and bought a digital voice recorder at Walgreens. And to my surprise, I got 40 really good EVPs. So that was very interesting. I was always interested in the paranormal. I remember having weird experiences when I was younger, and just was always interested in the unknown. Things that couldn't be explained, or theories, or just weird things. I really only use digital voice recorders. Occasionally though, I do set up 24-hour cameras to try to catch things in my home. If I go to someone else's home or another place to investigate, I bring a video camera and I take pictures, although those don't really seem to give much evidence. It's more the EVPs that I try to stick with. My most profound paranormal experience, God, there's so many. I think that would have to be, I lived at an apartment and I was investigating on these train tracks right behind my house, my apartment, and we were getting EVPs, and then I picked up something from the train tracks that I found. It was a broken watch, and I brought it home, and we were doing EVPs, continued to have it on. I still had the recorder on. I was playing it back, and then I realized that all the ghosts that were out by the train tracks actually followed me to my house, inside my house, and were telling me to give them their watch back, that it was his. So that was kind of interesting. And I'd also have to say there was a really nasty guy that followed me around everywhere. His name was Rick Dyer, and he was a ghost, obviously, and he seemed a little obsessed with me. Every guy that I would date, like if they came over for dinner or something, things would be literally thrown at them from across the room. And then, of course, I never hear from them again. So yeah, that's probably the most profound. The knowledge I've gained from doing this is mainly by EVPs. Okay, the EVPs that we capture, that I capture, sometimes are just simple yes or no's or help me or whatever, but once in a while, like this one time, there was a guy there that just kept talking and talking and talking and talking, and he was telling me what it was like where he is and asking me to help him because he doesn't know where he is or anything, and I've also matched them all up. Like, that guy isn't the only spirit that said that on EVP. There's been plenty of other spirits who have said the same things. So the evidence that I can say I uncovered is more of a belief system than proof. It seems to be another dimension existing, like, simultaneously within our own. Time doesn't exist. We've tested that out. it's sort of like, this is my theory, sort of like waves in an ocean. You know, the tides come in, they go out. It's sort of like some days you get really big waves, and some days you get little or nothing. They're very, very calm. That I find very interesting. I don't think it means, like, if you have a place that you think is haunted, you have all this stuff happening one day, and then the next day it's completely like nothing's happening. No EVPs are being captured, nothing's happening. I think now that it's not because they're not there. I think it has something to do with fluctuations in something. I don't really believe in demons. I don't think I've ever come across one, no. People describe demons as nasty ghosts. I've come across plenty of nasty ghosts, and I wouldn't call them demons, though. Demon for me is more of a religious term to justify things that the Bible says is wrong. So I think that's more of a religious thing, but from what I've found is that if you were a rapist in life, you're going to be one at death. If you're an asshole, you're going to be one as a ghost. So I've come across nasty ghosts, but I've been able to help them, and they've left me alone. I've never encountered any type of possession, not that nasty, no, I haven't. So that's up in the air for me. The most haunted locations that I've investigated would have to be there's a place here in Melbourne, Florida, down a street called Highland Avenue near O'Galley, and there's a business there called Maxine's. It's a hair salon, and that place is extremely, extremely haunted. I would like to investigate Yesterville in Florida and Savannah, Georgia. Yes, I have. Not very often, but it's not very often that I get freaked out by things, but there's been a couple times where I've been pushed and I've had my hair pulled, so yeah, that's pretty creepy to me. The most real evidence I've had is definitely EVPs, to where I will record a man talking to me, telling me to look up his first and last name and how he died. And when I do, I find that it all matches. That happens to me a lot, and that I would have to say is the best. My level of skepticism is in the middle. I feel like you have to remain skeptical at everything you do. Obviously, I know it's there now. I remain skeptical going into new places, though, until I actually find something and have the proof. first paranormal encounter would be when I was 14. I was in my room and I asked whatever was in my room to turn on my lamp to let me know that it was there, and right after asking them to do that, it happened, and the light switch was moving up and down, and you could hear it clicking, and that was my first paranormal experience. I would have to say I'm a big fan of paranormal state. I like the fact that they don't just go in there to get the evidence and go and leave. They actually stay there and try to resolve the situation, and try to help the family, and try to help the spirit. I really like that. So I would have to say paranormal state. That's pretty difficult. I'm very proud of what I do, so I don't mind telling people when they ask me, and I tell them, hey, I'm a paranormal investigator, haha. And I either get, oh, or I get, really cool, I'm really into that. But I do get judgment from other people, and sometimes it's hard, and sometimes it's not. Things are called paranormal because no one can understand why or how it's happening, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist and that it's not real.